Hey everyone, welcome to the second episode of my Out of the Park baseball simulation series, doing some fun things. The first episode, if you didn't see it, was if an entire team in 2001, if the entire San Francisco Giants team was made out of Barry Bonds, including the pitching staff, the catchers, the infielders, and the outfielders. If you haven't seen it, definitely go check it out. But we're here for the second episode in the series, and for this one I'm going to see what would happen in the majors if every fence was 100 feet tall. So instead of the Green Monster being 30 something feet tall, and instead of some stadiums having 5-foot tall fences, every fence at every stadium is going to be 100 feet high. The dimensions of these stadiums are going to stay the same, but all of the fences are going to be 100 feet tall. So I'm really interested to see what happens here. One of my favorite features in Out of the Park baseball is that you can edit the ballparks, and it accurately or semi-accurately reflects in the simulation and in the gameplay. So if I go here right now, I am on the Angels. If I go to their settings, excuse me, and head over to info and go to ballpark, you can see that all of the wall heights are at 100 feet. You can see how this is reflected in the average ballpark factors. Their batting average is normal, but the doubles and triples are way up, and the homers are way down. And I think that's kind of what you'd expect to see, because pretty much every ball that would be a home run is bouncing off of the wall now. There may be a few home runs. I don't know how the simulation is going to deal with 100-foot fences. I think that there probably have been a few home runs that go 100 feet over the fence. Maybe. I'm not actually sure. I don't know if they have StatCast for that. It doesn't say. I don't know what the home runs would have to be at for there to be no homers. So we'll see what happens here. But most of the homers will be turned into singles, doubles, and triples. There will obviously still be into the park home runs. But if we go and look at other teams here, every major league team has their wall height at 100 feet, but at the normal dimensions. Some parks, like Marlins Park, they have a negative home run factor for right-handed batter, and their home run overall is I think that's the lowest one I've seen. But yeah, I mean, that's what we'll be doing is checking out how all of the players and all of the teams do with making it pretty hard to hit home runs. So right now I'm not controlling any team. I think that's what I'm going to be doing for the simulation. This should be a quicker one. I'm just simulating a season to see what happens. And then that's really it. I'm not going to be having to change all of the players and stuff. I already did that before I started recording. So we'll go in here and we'll sim until opening day. Again, I'm not controlling any team right now, so I'm not screwing anything up with any of the rosters. The injuries are on. The settings are normal, so guys could get hurt. Guys could get traded. We'll take a look at the top prospect list if this matters. We've got Wander Franco, Gavin Lux, Luis Robert, Adley Rutschman. I don't know where number 6 went, but I don't know if these are all of them. But yeah, I mean, this is essentially just normal. Everything is normal. All I did was go in and change the heights of the walls. So we'll head to play, and we will simulate one day here. I guess that was opening day, so let's go and see the MLB homepage and see if any games happened. So there were some games that happened. We'll take a look at the scores and schedules, I believe we want to do here. The scores. And we'll see the day before was the 26th. So what are some of the scores looking like? I'm assuming they're going to look pretty normal, maybe a little bit lower than usual. But, I mean, there were some guys hitting home runs. I don't know how that's possible. Luplo and Ramirez both hit homers, 5-1, 6-0. Some games with no home runs. I mean, this is obviously a lot less than usual. I mean, only 2 homers a game, which is, I think that's kind of unrealistic. I still think we would see a lot less home runs than this. But obviously this is just a simulation, not necessarily what would happen in real life. So we'll sim for a month here and see. We can look at the leaders here. Well, 1 second here. Oh, we simulated to April. I forgot that is how it works. But we'll simulate to May 1st. And as you can see, only Jose Ramirez, now Austin Meadows has multiple homers, Rizzo and Turner. So while the homers haven't gone completely away, like was maybe intended, for the most part, I mean, this is not a lot of home runs. Pretty much the end of May, the leader is Jose Ramirez with 5 home runs in Cleveland. So we'll go check out some league leaders here. real quick. And so, yeah, as you can see, Jose Ramirez, we got a couple Cleveland guys and a few Tampa Bay guys. I'm going to go check on their ballparks to make sure I didn't mess anything up. I'm a little nervous now that I see that. Yeah, I mean, their homers are down. Their height is 100 feet for the Indians. And for the Rays, I'll make sure that that's okay, just because those are the two outliers I saw. Yeah, they're at 100 feet too. So I guess their home runs are still a little high because they do have 325 feet down both lines. So maybe it is possible to hit a ball 100 feet over the 325 because that's kind of short for straight down the lines. That's probably where those homers are coming from. But if we go back to the statistics here, I'll go to the combined leaderboards instead. Freeman's hitting 388. Mike Trout has a 530 on base percentage, but only has 2 home runs. I wonder what the doubles leaders are looking like. Byron Buxton leads the majors in WARs. Freddie Freeman had 21 doubles in the first month. Gene Segura had 6 triples. This is where you're seeing all the home runs go, right into the doubles, the triple stats. And even the singles. I don't know if there's a singles leaderboard. We have a hits leaderboard with Freddie Freeman on top, but that's really it. Trout walked 33 times. Devers getting a lot of extra bases like he usually does. Trout with the high OPS plus. And we'll go to pitching because this is affecting the pitchers as well because it is a lot harder for them to give up home runs. Sean Newcomb has an 0.52 ERA. A few guys with 5 wins. I wonder if we go to home runs allowed. Jeez, what? Walker Buehler has 47 strikeouts and 2 walks allowed. That's ridiculous. I don't know if that'll hold up or not. No one's given him more than 2 home runs on the entire year. So that's some interesting stuff. I'll simulate another month into the future, and we'll take a look at some more of these again. The Braves, Reds, Padres in first place. That's interesting. The Mariners, the Twins, the Blue Jays. This is a very interesting standings-wise. This is having a huge effect. It makes sense that the Yankees are being affected by this because they hit a lot of home runs, but we do see the Twins in first place, and they hit a lot of home runs last year as well. The Dodgers are back on top of their division. So we're back here at the leaderboards. Jose Ramirez looks like he's the best. Maybe he's a switch hitter. Maybe that could be something to do with it. I don't really know. Maybe inside the park home runs. Lindor, Matt Olson, Cole Calhoun, Devers, Cruz, Diaz, and Gregorius. But again, only 8 home runs on June 1st is really nothing. Juan Soto leads the majors in OPS, followed by Kepler and Trout. 591 slugging percentage is the highest, which isn't even that high for the league leader. In terms of on-base percentage, we have Juan Soto and Mike Trout. Byron Buxton could win MVP. It makes sense that the league would favor someone like him because while he does have a little bit of power, he's more like a 20 home run guy in a full season, I would say. He's the guy, the speed guy, gets some singles, hopefully some doubles. He's the guy that's not really as hurt by this compared to the big sluggers like the Pete Alonso. And even like if you think about Ronald Acuna Jr., I mean, what happens when he hits a ball that's usually a home run? Is it only gonna be a single because he's gonna watch it, or is he finally gonna get used to the fact that most of his no doubters, I mean, the ball that he hit in the playoffs last year probably should have been a home run, but it wasn't. But all of the home runs that he's gonna be hitting now are gonna turn into balls off the wall, and I don't see him on any of these leaderboards. If we go to the pitching leaders, Sean Newcomb is still leading in ERA. Garrett Cole in terms of WAR. So that's interesting. I'm going to go to the team stats. The team with the most home runs, as the Indians have 21, and I think they're the only team that has 20 home runs so far on June 1st. Only 298 home runs in the entire league. The league OPS is down like 20 points, which isn't surprising. It's usually around 730. It's because of slugging. I mean, the batting average on base percentage are about the same, which makes sense because there aren't really any more outs. It's just the home runs are decreasing, and the slugging percentage is down. Team pitching statistics: the league ERA is 3.93. That's pretty low. Usually it's like 4.5, I believe. But again, strikeouts are probably staying the same, I would assume. It's just the slugging percentages that are getting affected here. So we'll sim another month into the season and check. The Reds have a pretty commanding lead. The Pirates in second place in the Central. The Angels lead in the West because I guess Mike Trout's walk skills aren't going to vanish because of the fences. So maybe the teams that are least affected by this are the ones that are going to be getting rewarded. I'm not really sure how this is going to play out. If you think about it, if you're losing fewer wins because you're losing fewer home runs, then I guess you're gotten kind of less affected by that. But at the same time, why are the Twins doing so well? But then you have the Tigers and that's so bizarre. Going back to the leaderboards, It's July 1st now. Matt Olson is the first player to hit 10 home runs. Mike Trout has a 470 on base percentage. What's his slugging percentage? He has a 470 on base and a 466 slugging. So you can really see his numbers here if we go to his batting stats. You can look at his 590 slugging, 550, 629, 628, 645, and now this year he only has 2 home runs and he's only slugging 466. So it kind of goes to show you he already has more doubles than he typically gets. I mean, over the last 4 seasons, this is the most doubles he's had. I mean, that's where his homers are going, and it's only July 1st. His batting average is at a near career high. On base percentage is at a career high, but his slugging percentage is the lowest it's been since he was a 19-year-old. So that's interesting to see. But their team is doing very well, and I think that what you need here is more of an on-base approach. I think the homer approach for a lot of players isn't going to be the best one. I don't think 10 homers or 15 homers over a season is as valuable as a ton of singles, a ton of walks, which is kind of interesting. If baseball switched to a league where it was much harder to hit home runs, I think that the league would be looking a lot different in terms of like even the strikeout numbers. Obviously not in the simulation, but I think we'd have more of a singles approach. Pitching leaders, is it Sean Newcomb? No, it's Steven Strasburg. Newcomb's dropped. Strasburg, Cole, both are under a 2 ERA. Garrett Cole is 14-2 with a 1.97 ERA. Marcus Stroman's not having a good year. He's 0-12 with a 6.18 ERA. That's just brutal. Walker Buehler still has 124 strikeouts and 12 walks, which isn't even affected. He's just having a good sim year, I guess. Garrett Cole is a 2.29 ERA plus. And then where are the home runs allowed? Luis Gohara is the only one that's allowed more than 5 home runs, but he is 5-1 with a 2.98 ERA. So who really knows? Yeah, that's pretty much all we want to look at here. I'm gonna take a look at the standings more in depth a little bit. So the Braves in first, not really out of the ordinary. I mean, the NL East kind of looks pretty typical as you'd expect. I mean, 4 teams above 500. The NL Central is kind of wonky. I think a lot of people consider the Cubs, Cardinals, and Brewers a lot better than the Pirates, but we do see the Pirates in second place, although they are below 500. So only one really decent team in this division this year is the Cincinnati Reds. This division is looking kind of weird, the NL West. The Padres and the Rockies are both tied for second place, only a few games out of the Dodgers. Meanwhile, the Diamondbacks are even worse than the Giants this year. In the AL East, it was the Blue Jays who were on top early, but now the Rays are 50-37, the Yankees in second. And the Red Sox and the Orioles kind of battling for last. But look, even the Orioles aren't even doing that bad. Maybe it's because, I don't really know. Hanser Alberto is not affected by the home run change. In the AL Central, I think it's kind of surprising to me that the Twins are in first. But then you see the Tigers in second place, the Indians in fourth, and the Royals in fifth. And the AL West, we have the Angels on top, the Mariners in third, and the A's in fourth, even though Matt Olson is the only player with double-digit home runs. It's kind of crazy looking at the disparity between the American League and the National League. 10 home runs for Matt Olson, 9 for Ramirez, and 8 for Lowe. But in the National League, no one with more than 5. That's an interesting disparity there. I think that's really all there is to look at right there. So I'm gonna sim another month. So we're gonna hit the All-Star game here. I don't know if it's gonna stop my sim or not. Still only one player with 10 home runs is Matt Olson. Bryce Harper's now hit 6. I think that's still on the high end. I mean, if 100-foot fences, how many home runs are hit 100 feet over the ground? So that'd be like 90 feet over most fences, I guess you could say. Or if you're thinking in terms of Fenway, it would be 60 or 70 feet over the monster. I mean, how many home runs are that much higher than the fence when they cross? I'm not sure. But I do think it's mostly accurate. I think that it kind of gets the idea down, whether or not it's exactly what it would be like. The one thing it doesn't take into account is are players changing their approach, because I think really players would not try as hard to hit for power if really the best thing they're going to do is a double. I mean, I would say it's much more rewarding to try for singles when the difference between a power swing and a contact swing is only 1 base instead of 3 bases in that guaranteed run. Unless you're Mike Moustakas, who has 7 home runs, Olsen with 11. I mean, that's still not even that many. So we're back here. Rays still in first. Twins have a 73-38 record. That is the best in the majors. The Angels holding on here. Padres take the division lead from the Dodgers. The Rockies are still in it. The Reds are in first place. The Cubs trying to catch up here, but it doesn't look like they're going to. And then the Braves lead the only normal division in baseball, I would say, is the NL East right here. In terms of OPS, we don't have anyone higher than 1,000. In fact, in the American League, which has a lot of guys with home runs, only one guy's even above 900, and it's Mike Trout. Brian Hayes, for some reason, is third in OPS in the majors. It's kind of funny. Top two are Dodgers, and they don't even lead their division, which is interesting. Chris Archer is now a Met. That's cool. He got traded mid-season when he was 8-1 on the Pirates, and now he's a 1.21 ERA on the Mets. That's interesting, I guess. Strasburg and Scherzer, teammates leading WAR, and there's Buehler. It's kind of weird that the Dodgers aren't in first place, but the Padres have a really good record. And then over here in the American League, Brennan McKay has 159 strikeouts. Again, none of this would be changed, but it's still interesting because on a sim-by-sim basis, it does change a little bit. We'll simulate another month here and head into September. So let me know in the comment section or on Twitter what kind of other videos in this series you want to see. I think these are a lot of fun. Changing one aspect of baseball, or making a team full of a guy, or making a league full of someone. I think it's really cool to see how it would work out, because while this isn't 100% accurate, you can't get a team of 25 Barry Bonds, or you can't raise all of the fences by 100 feet. In the simulation, you can. So I think that's kind of exciting and kind of fun to do. So let me know if you have any more kind of crazy ideas here. Meanwhile, Dodgers back in first place in the NL West. It was only a matter of time, really. Their team is really good. Corey Seager's having a good year. Jeff McNeil, unsurprisingly, leads in OPS. He has 6 home runs, which actually is kind of surprising. But he's more of a contact-oriented guy. I mean, he did hit 23 home runs in 2019, but he's really more... I mean, that's not a lot of power in terms of today's game. He's more of a singles or a gap hitter guy who's not really that affected by this. He's hitting 341. There you go. Brian Reynolds is hitting 335 with 3 home runs. In the American League, Matt Olson has 15 home runs, which is kind of a lot, but it's all right. Only 3 guys, Moustakas, Ramirez, and Olson, have hit even 10 home runs. RBI races in both leagues, if you care. That's funny. The RBI race in the National League is all Dodgers players. And then Byron Buxton has 8.1 WAR right now, and only has hit 5 home runs. Trout has a 917 OPS, but he fractured his finger. Seems to happen every year now, which is a small random injury for him that kind of knocks him out for 15 games or something like that. So we'll simulate to the end of the regular season here to see who makes the playoffs. It looks like the playoff races are pretty defined here, except for the NL West between the Dodgers and the Padres, but the other one's just going to get the wild card and play the Phillies, it looks like. But the Padres are up by a game. It's tied. Still tied. Dodgers take the lead. They're both in the playoffs for sure. And they have the 2-game lead, 1-game lead. And it looks like the Dodgers win the division by 3 games. Kind of a nail-biter at the end there, but they locked it down. The Rays win the AL East at 105-61. They must have had a game canceled or something. The Twins were the only team that were even above 500 in the AL Central, while the Tigers and the Indians were tied for second. Interesting. A lot of games got canceled here, it looks like. Oh, wait, I think I have to play one more game. Finish today. There we go. My bad. So, yeah, now we're at the end of the regular season, and so the Padres only finished 2 games back. The Rockies did finish above 500. Pirates finished in second place in the NL Central, but the Phillies and the Padres will play each other in the wild card game. Meanwhile, in the American League, it'll be the Yankees versus the Angels in the wild card game, and they'll face the 106-win Twins. I mean, 2 105-win teams in the American League, which is interesting. I'll go to the expanded standings. They have run differentials here. Wow, plus 262 for the Twins is probably the highest for any team this year. Yeah, we'll take a look at the leaderboards here. Matt Olson, 16 home runs, by far the most. A few guys with 100 RBIs. Jeff McNeil led the majors in slugging. He only hit 6 home runs, so that's kind of funny. He also led an OPS in the entire majors. Trout finished with a 903 OPS. but he only hit 3 home runs. I think that's more surprising, but I think that's kind of just how his ballpark happened to play out here. 42 doubles, 4 triples, and 3 home runs. I forgot to check on. He only played 128 games. I forgot to check on the doubles races. That's kind of the most intriguing to me, actually. Yeah, look at that. Corey Seager with an MLB record at 90 doubles. He had 200 hits, 90 doubles, 2 triples, and 3 home runs. So that's kind of what I expected to happen. I kind of forgot about that during the sim, but the doubles, I mean, look at how many guys broke. I don't know exactly off the top of my head. I think the record was like 70 something, 74, 73. Maybe even not. I think it's Earl Webb has the record off the top of my head. And then Mondesi had 17 triples because he's just fast. He has a ton of triples anyways, but all of his home runs are another triple opportunity. Malik Smith with 69 stolen bases. That is pretty nice. Acuna did not have, he had like a Mike Trout year. He only hit 3 home runs, but he had a 423 on base percentage and a 294 batting average. The total base leader was Jose Altuve, who only hit 1 home run. Gallo had 121 walks. In terms of, did I say WAR? Was Buxton? Buxton led the major leagues in WAR. So he didn't even have that great of a year offensively, but obviously I guess with so many more options off of the wall, he could be even a better fielder. I don't know if that plays into this at all. I wonder what his defensive stats looked like. Fielding stats, his zone runs. Plus 33. That's pretty much equivalent to 33 defensive runs saved is how I look at that, which is a pretty great defensive year. So he's the best defender in baseball, let's say. And he also hit pretty well. And he probably stole some bases too. I'm going to go look at this card. Yeah, he stole 52 bases, 71 doubles, 14 triples. So that's definitely a good year. And he might actually win MVP because the Twins were very good as well. Pitching-wise, we've got Garrett Cole leading the major with a 2.24 ERA. Not too many surprises here. We got Andrew Heaney, Vince Velasquez are the 2 guys I would say surprises. The rest of these guys I could totally see up there. Marcus Stroman lost 21 games. He finished 4-21 with a 5.85 ERA. That's not necessarily just because of the 100-foot fences. It's just kind of randomness in the simulations, Scherzer tossed 3 shutouts. Shane Bieber actually passed Bueller in Ks per strikeouts per walk. Some interesting stuff. No player even allowed 8 home runs, which is interesting. I'm going to go to the sortable stats here, go to some pitching real quick. Actually, I'll sort by this fielding zone runs to see who the best fielder was. That's the worst fielder is Gleyber Torres this year. The best fielder was Byron Buxton. There you go. There's my boy Matt Chapman. And then a bunch of outfielders, 3 of the top 4 outfielders, which makes sense. If we go to the pitching stats, can we see doubles here? No. We sort by WAR. That was Cole. He's hurt though. What is he hurt with? Elbow soreness. So he's gonna miss the playoffs. Strasburg is gone. Corbin's gone. So they're gonna miss. They didn't even make the playoffs. So it doesn't even matter. But the Yankees did make the playoffs, and they're not gonna have him for the wild card game, which is interesting against the Angels. If we want to go to pitching stats too, they show doubles here. No, I don't think it shows doubles against, unfortunately. We go to, what does batting stats 2 have here? Nothing that important, honestly. I don't think there's too much there that we can care about. I'll check the mail real quick to see if they have anything. Well, actually, probably not, because I'm not even a person in the league. I'm kind of just the commissioner here. So we will simulate the... Oh, actually... I want to be able to see who wins the awards here. So I'm going to go to the search jobs finder, and I'm going to apply to like the Cubs as the GM because they're not in the playoffs. So now I get these stuff. Doesn't really matter because they're not going to play. And then I'll sim to the beginning of the playoffs. So Corey Seager won the batting crown. Cole won the Triple Crown. I didn't notice that. He won 19-3, 224, 271 strikeouts. And we'll sim, I guess, until the end of the month. I don't know if that'll make the playoffs. So that didn't work, did it? I have to make it so I don't get any of these mails. That's one of the things in this game. So I want to get I guess I'll go on Do Not Disturb because it doesn't really matter to me right now. So we'll simulate a month. The wild card, the Angels and the Phillies win. And then it looks like we'll see the Angels advance to play the Rays, the Braves and the Dodgers playing. The Angels blow a 3-1 lead. It looks like Dodgers-Rays World Series, and the Dodgers win it all. Very interesting stuff. The Angels came very close. I think they're up 3-1, if I recall. But it doesn't look like they won it, obviously. In the American League, we extended Chris Bryant. Very cool. Don't really care about that, though. And then we will simulate until this date, and then we can see all of the awards that were won. And that's probably the last thing we'll take a look at here. I'm not going to simulate into the future because I took control of the team. I don't want to affect anything. Like I said, not too long of a video, but I think it's still kind of interesting to look at these kind of things. I was thinking about moving the fences 50 feet back or 50 feet in at all stadiums. I think that would be pretty cool. Okay, so here we go. I figured out where the awards were. For some reason, it wasn't in my mail. But we'll take a look at the Great Glove winners, because they can't call it Gold Glove winners because of the copyright stuff. Greinke, Perez, Olsen, LeMahieu, Chapman, Simmons, Malik Smith, Byron Buxton, and Aaron Judge wins his first one. Well-deserved, especially with bets out of that league now. Pablo Lopez in the National League, okay. Real Muto, Rizzo, Colton Wong, Arenado, Freddie Galvis, Christian Yelich wins one. Interesting. Billy Hamilton and Acuna in right field. That doesn't really matter too much, but I'm still going to look at that. Nick Anderson wins Relief Pitcher of the Year. He had 94 strikeouts in 60 innings. That's very good. That's over, 15 Ks a 9? Ks per 9. He won it unanimously. And then in the National League, it was Will Smith, who finished with a 2.21 ERA. And some strikeouts, of course. The Platinum Stick Award. This is kind of interesting. This is the Silver Slugger equivalent in this game. Austin Romine with 1 home run. Matt Olson with 16. Altuve with 1 home run. Guerrero Jr. with 3. Lindor with 11. Meadows with 8. Mike Trout only had 3 home runs. They're not even showing Merrifield's home runs. Did he not even hit any of them? He had no home runs. And he tore his meniscus. Ouch. And Nelson Cruz in the designated hitter. Platinum Stick in the National League. Pablo Lopez and Real Muto both win those as well. Josh Bell, Ozzie Albies. I think Brian Hayes had to be the longest of long shots to win a Silver Slugger at third base in the National League. There's so many guys, and Brian Hayes comes and wins it. Corey Seager at short. Brian Reynolds, who's a guy that probably was not affected too much by the fences. In left field, Bellinger playing center field. Hits only 3 home runs, but gets it in right and in center, and his teammate wins in right. So the Dodgers had 3. They had the shortstop, the center field, and the right field. Rookie of the Year, it goes to Brendan McKay. Interesting. I wonder if he hit. He had a 3.36 ERA, and he did not hit well, but he was good as a pitcher, which is why he won the award. In the National League, Brian Hayes unanimously won it. Did anyone else get votes? Casey Mize ended up coming up. Finished 10-12 with a 3.11 ERA. Pearson had a good year, 2.71 ERA, and Jared Walsh was also a two-way guy, I believe, right? Did he bat? Yeah, he batted. Did he pitch? No. He did pitch. He used to pitch. I don't know why I thought he pitched. I thought he came up as a two-way. Anyways, he had like a 94 WRC+, plus, so pretty average. I don't know if WRC+, plus adjusts each specific year in this game, because he had a 728 OPS, which is above average. Anyways, Kevin Cash wins Manager of the Year, and Roberts wins it in the National League. Garrett Cole wins the Cy Young Award unanimously. Glasnow in second. Andrew Heaney in third. Is that how I say his name? I've never really learned. 2.99 ERA. Clevenger, Blake Snell, and Eduardo Rodriguez. Kind of an interesting list there, but not too much of a surprise for that would kind of happen usually as well. And then the National League, Scherzer wins it with a 2.61 ERA. Vince Velasquez got the other 5 first place votes at 2.76. DeGrom 3 ERA, and a Strasburg with 2.85. Altuve wins the AL MVP. You feel bad for Byron Buxton here. I don't know why this is not in order here. Oh, it is in order. I just can't read. Oh well. So Altuve wins it. Garrett Cole gets some votes. Francisco Lindor gets some votes. Where's Jose Ramirez at? He's down there. Trout finishes 7th. Arias actually finishes ahead of Buxton. He hit .333 with no homers. Buxton, who had the majors in WAR, finished 5th. Shohei Ohtani, Brendan McKay got a vote. It's kind of cool how they break this down. I really like that. And then in the National League, Seager wins National League MVP. Bellinger, his teammate, gets 2 first-place votes. And then if you look further down, Scherzer gets 2, and then Velasquez, for some reason, got a first-place vote. I think that's kind of funny. And then here are the other guys there. A lot of guys. Johan Camargo getting some votes. Brian Hayes finishing ahead of Freddie Freeman and Bryce Harper. Very fun stuff there. And yeah, that's all for this video. I think I'm going to actually go take a look real quick at the league settings here and take a look at the almanac. Where was it? I keep losing where this is. Yeah, so here we go with the single season and career leaders. Again, I'm not sure how this... I know this is accurate on a single season basis. So Corey Seager breaks the record with 90 doubles. Can I view all of them? Yeah, all of the guys here. Oh, it was Earl Webb. Did I say? I think I said Earl Webb, yeah. He had 67, and then the top 25 doubles hitters all happened in this year. And then look at all these 2020 guys. Not really surprising. I don't know how accurate the game records is. I don't think it's too accurate, to be honest. 4 doubles in a game. Well, that was the American League. Can I go to the National League? No one had 5. But back to the single season and career records. I'm not sure anything else was broken here. This is, yeah. I don't think we have anyone. I think guys would definitely set the career doubles record if I kept simming this longer, but I don't really care to do that. Miguel Sano had 251 strikeouts. That's not good. 251 strikeouts. He did play pretty much every game, so that still is a lot. Heading back over there to see if there's anything else. I don't think I see anything there in pitching. Nothing there either. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to try and get this one up on April 15th, the day I'm filming this, but if not, it'll be up tomorrow. You guys don't care when it's coming up because you're watching it when I posted it. But yeah, have a good day. Let me know if there's anything you want to see me sim in here. I'm open to whatever, some good ideas, and have a good rest of your day.